The Haunting of Room 13. It was just another ordinary day at Greenwood High, except for the rumors that circulated among the students. They spoke in hushed tones about Room 13, a classroom that had been sealed off for years, its door bolted shut. No one knew exactly why, but the stories varied. Some said it was haunted, others claimed a terrible accident had occurred there long ago. Anaya, curious and brave, was a student who never paid much attention to ghost stories. She was new to the school and heard whispers about the room during lunch. Her friends warned her not to ask too many questions, but the more they tried to dissuade her, the more intrigued she became. "Come on, it's just a locked room," she said with a laugh. What could be so scary about that? One afternoon, when the school was unusually quiet, Anaya decided to find out for herself. She snuck away from her friends after the final bell rang and made her way down the long, dimly lit hallway. The air seemed cooler the closer she got to Room 13. The door stood at the end of the hall, covered in dust and cobwebs. Her heart pounded as she approached it. A strange sensation crept up her spine, but she shook it off, determined to prove there was nothing unusual about the room. She pulled at the handle, expecting it to be locked, but to her surprise, it opened with a soft creak. The room was dark, the only light coming from a small, cracked window at the far end. Desks were scattered about, covered in layers of dust, as if no one had stepped foot inside for decades. The air smelled musty, and there was an eerie stillness, like the room was frozen in time. As Anaya stepped further inside, she noticed something odd, a faint sound, almost like whispering, but too quiet to make out. She paused, her breath catching in her throat, and strained her ears to listen. The whispers grew louder, coming from the corner of the room. Curiosity getting the better of her, she moved toward the sound. That's when she saw it, a small, dusty blackboard in the corner, and on it, written in barely legible chalk, were the words, "Get out. She's watching." Anaya froze. Her skin prickled with fear as she scanned the room, but no one was there. The whispers intensified, now louder and clearer. "She's here, she's here." Panicked, Anaya turned to leave, but the door slammed shut with a force that shook the walls. Her heart raced, and she ran to the door, pulling at the handle, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers became more frantic, swirling around her, as if circling her like invisible ghosts. She spun around, searching the room, and that's when she saw it, a shadowy figure standing by the blackboard. A girl, no older than herself, with long, dark hair covering her face, wearing an old school uniform, stained and tattered. The girl's head slowly lifted, revealing pale, hollow eyes that seemed to stare right through Anaya. Anaya's blood turned to ice. The girl's lips moved, but no sound came out. Then, suddenly, the whispers stopped. The room fell deathly silent, and the girl began to walk toward her, her movements slow and deliberate. Terror gripped Anaya. She banged on the door, screaming for help, but no one was there to hear her. The shadowy figure was now mere feet away, reaching out with cold, ghostly fingers. In a desperate attempt, Anaya closed her eyes and yanked at the door one last time, and it flew open. She stumbled out into the hallway, her heart pounding in her chest. Gasping for breath, she looked back at Room 13. The door was shut, as if it had never been opened. She ran down the hallway, not stopping until she was outside, safe in the daylight. Her friends found her minutes later, pale and shaking. When she told them what had happened, they were silent, exchanging nervous glances. Room 13, one of them finally said, used to belong to a girl now.